Don't you think it's funny about teaching acceptance and they still made the fat version of the character slimmer than the real version? It's just some nonsense. Now, that statistic where it says 74% of female gamers feel underrepresented is a lie. Every female gamer I've spoken to and every single thing I've seen on the internet points to female gamers saying they don't want this bullshit. This whole representation nonsense in comics and video games is exactly that. It's just nonsense. There's been this argument with comics and games for quite a while now that they don't represent every demographic or every body shape or whatever. But when I was growing up and we were growing up on like Spider-Man and whatnot, Spider-Man didn't look like me. A lot of the heroes that and the villains that I resonated with I didn't resonate them because they look like me. I resonated them because of their personalities. There was something about Peter Parker's personality that resonated with young boys, right? Most superheroes back in those days were like adults. Spider-Man was really the only teenage superhero, so his struggle as a teenager was something that teenage boys could relate to. No one cared about how they looked. I have not met a single female gamer that feels underrepresented. I've never met one. I'm sure they're out there. 74% seems like a ridiculous number, but most people playing games like to switch off from reality and go into a fantasy world. People don't go from playing a game and then wanting to have that replicated in their games. It doesn't really make sense to me. And every single time they do this with games, the game tends to not do very well. Do you know what came out the other day? Street Fighter 6. In that game, all of the girls in that game, all the ones that have been traditionally sexy, they've like upped the sexy by like 1 billion. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for or anything, but they lent into everything and the fans loved it. You know, like there's always been this like foot fetish thing with Jury. They lent into that. People have always been obsessed with Cammy's bum. They lent into that. Chun-Li's thighs. They lent into that. And these are girls as well that enjoy this. And you know another thing? When I go to Comic-Con, I don't see girls dressing up as fat versions of these famous characters. I don't see them complaining. I don't see them even finding the fat characters and dressing up as them. Do you know what I see? I see girls walking around dressed as Nami from One Piece. I see girls walking around dressed up as Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. I see girls walking around dressed up as Kitana from Mortal Kombat. All these women that have these like fantastical bodies. And the thing that like kills me the most is that they make out as that, you know, when they do these sort of things, it kind of shits on the body types that those gamers, those female characters do represent, like the slimmer bodies.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's been a concept of throughout our years growing up, everything's always been slim girls, and then it does just make other people think, why is it always only slim girls? Is only like, are only slim girls pretty? Is that the body type that everyone likes and things like that? Things have obviously changed now. People like different body types, but I think from where back in the day it used to be a thing of slim was the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? If a girl's bum was too big, it was frowned upon. No one wanted to have a big bum, things like that. And from where that was like the best look, and all games and films and whatever was all doing slim, it triggered a lot for people who weren't that way. Whereas nowadays, everyone likes a girl with a bit of meat, this, that, and the other. They're more inclusive in their games, you know, giving characters a bit more body. So now it's, I don't know, it's just a way of life, the way times have changed, I guess.
It's the fact that they're lying. Gamers are not complaining about this and they don't want this.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I can understand why they do try and implement different body shapes and sizes in things of, say, a cartoon nature, because
there's nothing wrong with implementing that. They've been doing that in like Japanese anime,
yeah,
and they've been doing that in video games for a long time. The problem is when they lie, and also they make out like it doesn't happen on the male side. Most
That's
video
what I'm
game
thinking,
characters that
yeah.
are male, they're like ripped, they're jacked. Like the main characters, they're always in that vein. And it's not to say that they don't have like fat female characters, but that's not the body type that people aspire to. It's not something that you think about when you think of fantasy. Even with male body types, usually when you've got like a very obese character, a very monstrous looking character, they are that. They're like a monster. The fantasy body type is like, you know, like The Witcher, the character that Henry Cavill plays, Geralt on the Netflix show and in the video game, or like Superman, or you've got Wonder Woman. They're not even... These people are not thin or slim. They're muscular. Most of these fantasy body types, even in Street Fighter, all the women that people are like fawning over, they've got six packs. Their arms are quite defined. They're fantasy bodies. If you feel personally affected because you don't see yourself in a video game or a comic, you're reading and playing them for the wrong reasons. It's meant to be about the personality. The personality is what resonates with people. I didn't resonate with someone like Magneto because he looks like me and he doesn't look anything like me. He's an old white man. The reason I resonate with him is because of his ideas and what the character represents. You don't need to have somebody look like you, and we definitely don't need to be glorifying obesity. It's not that far-fetched for an athletic build to be jumping around, even if they do it in a fantasy setting in a video game, but it does look ridiculous when an obese person is doing it.
Yeah, but I do also think that there's no issue with having a different body type on there.
There's no issue with having a different body type in there. It's the lie where they try to push it and make out like people are complaining, saying this body type is underrepresented. That's not happening. That is not, and you can see it everywhere. People love these characters that have these fantasy-like bodies, these like Herculean bodies, male and female. Because when you go to Comic-Con, when you go to gaming conventions, and when you look at the most popular games, they all follow similar themes with that in that regard. It's just BS. And Dove have been doing their stupid woke adverts for I don't know how long now. The worst thing is that I think Dove is a good product as well. They smell nice. Just stick to your soaps, okay? You ain't got no business in this lane. You don't have a dog in this fight. You don't know what you're talking about. That statistic was pulled out of your ass. 74% of female gamers feel underrepresented. That's a lie.
But where are they pulling that data from?
Their ass. Right in the depths of their crack.
But that's illegal.
People pull stats out of their asses all the time. What they did is they probably went to a very woke like college campus. They surveyed maybe 100 girls on there, and that's where they got their stat from.
Yeah, they got their stats from a bunch of feminists.
Yeah, probably. A bunch of... let me not go down that road. But, yeah, it's just not true. Gamers don't feel like this. I don't meet female gamers. Like, even the overweight female gamers that I meet, they're usually cosplaying the slim characters. And their favorite characters tend to be the slim, muscular builds. Because those characters, the ones that are done properly, a lot of us aspire to look like them or to carry ourselves in certain ways. Like even for me growing up, when I was watching a lot of different things and I would see like the way Goku would behave or the way Spider-Man would behave or Magneto or Doctor Doom or Ghost Rider or any of these characters, I wasn't looking at them and thinking, oh man, none of them look like me, because none of them look like me. My looks were not represented in comics and I didn't give a shit. My ideas were, though, or ideas that I could adopt and be like, that kind of makes sense. Because when you write comic books well, I mean, why do you think they're so popular in the cinemas? There's an audience there for them if you write the characters properly. People care about what comes out of the character's mouth. But that's it. Major L from Dove. You have no business in the gaming sphere. Your stats are lie.
I'm still going to buy your products, though.
Yeah, probably. I do like this. The soaps are nice. I can't lie. They smell very nice. Just continue making soaps and shut up.